All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. You know we're going to discuss it. This is how we do over here. Let's get into it, man. Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Boy, Andrade, she crushed Mackenzie Dern. Look, I knew this fight was going to end in a finish, but the fashion that it went, it was just like, wow, man. Like, I could have seen the one-hitter quitter, but it was just like the constant, consistent beating that was dealt out here. The drumming that Andrade brought to the table. You know, we haven't seen this in a minute, you know. But first off, I got to say this. Look, some fighters, they're just dangerous on losing streaks. And Jessica Andrade, she was no exception. I mean, we've seen it in the past. Fighters going on like 3, 4 fight, five fight losing streaks. You know, when you see them go into that sixth fight or that fifth fight, you're thinking that, oh, they're going to get knocked out again. They're going to get beat. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, and we don't see them anymore. But I think sometimes they just need that wake-up call. You know, that's like a humbling experience when they're going like 4 or 5 fights, you know, in a row of just taking L's. But, you know, I think Jessica Andrade, she understood what was going on this time. You know, she was in there with a game opponent like Mackenzie Dern. And to me, style-wise, Dern, she was bringing like a 50-50 set. You know, she was bringing a 50-50 set. She had some good things that could have been effective in this fight, but she had some bad habits that could also affect her performance. You know, the good was improving hands and BJJ, right? Her improving hands, the long jab, the right hand, if she can home in on it, those are good things. The BJJ, she gets you down. Her submission game is on point, right? You see, Jessica Andrade didn't even want to go to the ground with it, right? So, yeah, those are the good things. But these negatives, I've been talking about these for a minute. These negatives were her footwork and her defense and her lack of takedown accuracy, you know, which means the wrestling. You know, her wrestling and her overall clinch game is just not the best, especially going in there against a fighter like Jessica Andrade. You want to improve on that, especially footwork, you know, footwork. So not being able to get out of range of Jessica Andrade just spells disaster. Everybody before that, they could get out of range. Lauren Murphy, she failed. You know, she was a little too slow, too robotic for Andrade. Erin Blanchfield, you know, she was able to go into the fire. She was able to go out of range. Yan Xiaonan, she was able to go out of range. Suarez, she was able to go out of range. Mackenzie Dern, you know, her footwork, her feet are just a little too, like, tied up in there. Like, she still doesn't have that rhythm yet. Up top, she's good. She knows how to throw punches, but she's still a little off balance, you know. So if she couldn't keep her range and land consistent, hit and not get hit, it was going to be a long night. You know, she spent too much time in Andrade's range getting her leg chewed up instead of jabbing and stepping out of range. But that's the thing, you know, Dern striking is effective in certain areas. It's effective in certain situations, but dealing with Andrade, who has a clean target, you know, who can find that clean target, you know, on that chin, she's going to catch up. She'll always catch up. And she found Dern's chin over and over, dropped her multiple times in this fight, stopped her in 2, man. And I was just like, wow, okay. That's what Andrade needed. That's what Andrade needed. But when you look at it style-wise compared to some of the other fighters she's fought, yeah, of course, you know, Mackenzie Dern, she played more into an Andrade, type of style where Andrade was going to have a bit of an easier time than the last couple of fights, right? For sure. But real quick, looking back at the fight, just going back and looking at the first round, right away, I didn't see a lot of lateral movement from Dern. You know, she was just stepping straight back, trying to jab, trying to throw some front kicks to the body, which was good. You know, she wanted to try to get Andrade's respect with her power, but Andrade, she would just wait her way in. I mean, Dern, she started off quick with a good head throw, but Andrade said, nope, I'm getting back up. Andrade got back up real quick to show the strength difference. So Andrade just went back to trying to dictate the pace. You know, she was trying to dictate the pace. I noticed Andrade was waiting more and trying to find openings and be patient. She used her calf kick well in the opening, which is what I wanted to see from her. The first couple that landed, they made Dern move. And let's be honest, they took away Dern's jab. You could see, like, the reaction from her. Like, when she was getting hit behind the knee, I could tell, like, her eyes were open wider and she started moving more because those things were hurting, and it kind of disrupted her game plan of trying to throw them long jabs. You know, Dern, at that point, she was afraid to sit down on the jab because she was eating those calf kicks, right? It was kind of like when Lauren Murphy fought Andrade, the same situation. She didn't want to stay in that range because she was eating them big calf kicks. I mean, Dern, she threw a few combinations. Her right hand landed a few times, but they were off the mark at times because she just wanted to. She couldn't really commit. Control the stand-up. You know, she couldn't really stand the ground because she was eating them kicks already. Unlike Yan Xiaonan, you know, she was using angles. Dern, her movement was just trying to avoid the power. So at that point, Andrade, she got more comfortable in there and, you know, just started to walk her down. to start to walk her down. And one of the things I've always called out about Dern was that was still present in this fight was her her off balance, that off balance habit she has whenever she blitzes in, because she landed a good combination on Andrade, but at the end of it she fell. At the end of the combination she fell. Like, she landed like 2-3 good punches on Andrade's chin, but like when she rushes in, like she wades in, her upper body's controlling it, right? Like, so she fell over. And that's Dern. That's just Dern putting the weight on. That's Dern not putting the weight into her punches. She's throwing the weight into her upper body. Like, she's leaning forward off balance. Like, you're supposed to just throw the weight forward. Let the force come through the punch. But she's throwing all of her body forward. That's why she's falling over in these situations. Because Andrade, she just kind of turned. Andrade, she just kind of turned, and she just let her she took a few of the punches, but she turned and just let her fall over. She just turned and fell over. I mean, Andrade, she took some shots in this fight, but I think it was a little discouraging to Dern because she wasn't hurting her. She wasn't hurting her. But overall, Andrade, she did a good job at chewing the lead leg up, picking her shots, stuffing Dern's takedowns. She won the round. She ended it with that rush, and it ended the round with a good knockdown too. When she got Mackenzie Dern into the corner, I was like, oh man, here it comes. If she just eats one of these and bam, right hand lands, Dern goes down in the first round. So that's how the first round ended. But from there, it just kind of went downhill, man. Second round, Dern, she started quickly with the good 1-2 again. She's landing these shots now, but Andrade confident. She's still ripping that lead leg from both sides. She catching on inside, outside. Dern, she can't really check the leg kick or land the jab at this point. So Andrade, she kind of exposed some of them off-balance moments with Dern, just making her step straight back and make her run. So when she's doing it, she's losing her range too, which shows you how much Dern still has to improve in her stand-up. Like, we always see her hands land and we say, okay, her stand-up is improving and this and that, but stand-up starts with the footwork. Stand-up starts with the footwork, y'all. And if you ain't got the footwork, well, first off, if your feet ain't right, nothing's right. All right? You can throw all these punches up top all you want, but if your balance ain't on point and you don't know how to step in and out of range and reset or step, pivot, or just keep your balance and, keep the space between your feet at a, at a 50-50, at a 50-50, front and back balance, at a 50-50 balance, then you're not gonna prosper in there. You're not gonna succeed in there. That's just what it is. I mean, Andrade, she hit her with some hard strikes on the inside. Whenever she would close in and just kind of try to land these, when Dern would try to land these big punches, Andrade would just hit her with some of these hard strikes on the inside because she was off balance. I mean, Dern landed these accurate shots, but she just wasn't able to sit down, and she reached a lot. She had to reach a lot to avoid leg kicks, so that was frustrating for her. Andrade, she was taking her punch, which is frustrating for her. She kept coming. So Dern, she's not fighting at a pace to just win the round, like to win each round. She's actually kind of blowing her load because she's trying to compete with Andrade for the finish. Dern, she gave it away, man. She just gave it away that she was actually a little bit more discouraged and a little weary of the power, like when Aaron Blanchfield fought her, Aaron, they went into the fire, but Dern started booking it. Dern, she started kind of booking it, right? But the one big thing that I knew would come was Mackenzie Dern running into the punch. Like I said, if she runs into the punch, she's going to do half the work for Andrade, and she did it multiple times. I mean, as soon as she ran in once with the chin open, Andrade dropped her with a left hook. Andrade, she did the smart thing, let her stand right back up, right back in. Andrade lets her in. Dern, she comes back, lands some heavy shots of her own, like 2-3 shots. Andrade, she throws one in the exchange. Boom, drops her left hook again. Andrade stands her back up, lets her get back up, and then she ends it this time. She ends it with another vicious combination, backs her into the cage, lands a good right hand, drops her. And each time she's getting dropped, she's acting like, she wants to invite her to the ground. But that last one, that third and final one in the second round, ref said, nah, that's enough. Because he saw that big right hand she ate. And the way she ate it, she looked dazed, man. Like she was just on her back. Like she wanted to go to the ground, get some grappling in. But he was like, nah, that's it. That's it. So, yeah, 4 knockdowns, for Jessica Andrade in this fight in only 2 rounds. Patience, man. Patience shown by Andrade. It really helped her in this one. You know, patience, just letting the fight come to her, making her shots count, especially the leg kicks, just slowly axing away at Dern's leg. That's what disrupted Dern's game plan and exposed a lot of work that has to be done on Dern's part. I mean, I was glad Andrade won this one because, to me, I think she needed it more so than Dern. You know, losing 4 this year, that would have hurt her more. I think that would have hurt Andrade more than Dern losing this one. You know, even in the fashion that Mackenzie Dern lost it, I think this would have did more damage than another L for Jessica Andrade. See, Mackenzie Dern, she can come back from this. You know, she hasn't lost this hard in her whole career yet, but I think it's a learning experience for her. She's going to go back and watch and say, okay, this is what I need to do. See, that's the one thing about Mackenzie Dern. She's never lost that hard. She's got some gifts in her career, like the Tisha Torres fight and so on, and even like some other fights that were really close. But I think with this one, it's really going to wake her up and say, okay, where did we fail? You know, where did we fail now? You know, Dern, she can learn from this. You know, she's going to have to if she wants to go for that belt, because there was still a lot of mistakes made in this fight. And if Andrade is taking you to school, you know, with the basic leg kick and backing you up and making you reset and second guess your striking, or even making you miss and look that bad, then yeah, there's a lot of work that has to be done in there. Because I thought Mackenzie Dern, she had the longer hands, the more improved jab, but I still was kind of weary of her footwork. I really wasn't on her footwork like that, and especially like her defense. Those 2 things were going to be her downfall. Like, she wasn't going to be able to, you know, just pot shot Jessica Andrade if, you know, she's not pivoting right and she's not measuring right. But yeah, shout out to Jessica Andrade's leg kick. I was like, yo, that thing was on point in this fight. But yeah, man, from here, good job on Andrade. She deserved it. She earned it. From here, I think Jessica Andrade just has to get back into the winner's circle first, you know, fully, before she tries to call for a Weili fight. I know at her post-fight conference, she was talking about trying to get back up and fight Weili at some point. But before you get a title shot, man, you got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna be real. Like, coming off of 4 losses and you just beat Dern, that's not enough to get a title shot. So yeah, Jessica Andrade has to do something to make us say she's a contender again. You know, that's just being real. I'm gonna talk about that in another video, because she brought somebody else up that she said she wanted a rematch with. But you know, we'll talk about that later. Mackenzie Dern, Mackenzie Dern got a lot of work to do. You know, she's got to get with a good striking coach that's going to improve her footwork. I mean, shout out to Priel. I mean, he's trying to do wonders for her. He actually has improved some things for her, but it's all in the fighter too, man. It's all in the fighter just breaking bad habits. You know, she's got a lot of bad habits to break in there, and she's still blitzing in and tripping herself up, you know, and coming up chin wide open and everything. So Kenzie's got to go back to the drawing board. I think a good fight for her would be Lupi Godinez next, since Lupi won her fight. Let Lupi get some of that veteran action and just kind of go from there. But yeah, shout out to Andrade. She killed that losing streak. You know, definitely a good way to end 2023 for her. She's not fighting anymore this year. Let's hope not. Let's hope she's not fighting next weekend or fighting in December on a short notice, because she'll go right back to the losing again, man. But I'm just playing. But yeah, man, what did y'all think of the fight? Good one. What's next for Andrade, Mackenzie Dern? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.